Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful, the signs within and without, a divine blueprint in the sky. The Quran promised, "We will show them our signs, on the horizons, and within themselves." Surah Fusilhat 41:53. This was no poetic metaphor. It was a divine blueprint. For centuries, humanity searched the heavens. Stars, galaxies, atoms, all waiting to be discovered. But these discoveries are not random. They are part of a sacred unfolding, the first stage of truth. Outer signs in nature, science, and history were meant to awaken the seeker. The universe itself became a classroom of divine patterns, guiding the eye from what is seen to what is unseen. The light hidden in matter, technology as a symbol. Every scientific invention has a hidden wisdom. Electricity and power stations give modern life its light. Just as divine guidance is the source of spiritual power, a microscope reveals what is unseen. Just as inner insight magnifies hidden truths in the soul, copying machines replicate forms, just as the soul of Adam was multiplied through humanity. These tools, born of intellect, reflect a deeper truth. Our world is not just material, but symbolic. Every invention is not a triumph of the human mind alone. It is a whisper from Allah, permitting the soul to glimpse a little more of His creation. To claim ownership is arrogance. To recognize with humility is enlightenment. The inner signs, the mirror within the soul. But the second stage of signs lies not in the stars, but in the self. The human being is more than flesh and intellect. Ibn Rushd distinguished two kinds of experience: outer measurement and inner knowing. Beyond logic is an experience, too real for words. The soul's awakening, this spiritual reality, is not imagined. It is directly experienced by those prepared. And just as we study matter with microscopes, the soul too requires a lens, the light of spiritual guidance, to see its true reflection. The soul multiplied from one soul, many reflections. The Quran speaks of a single soul, from which all were created. Adam was not just the first man, but the first elevated soul of the cycle, reflected forward through time. Like light passing through glass, each human carries that spark, but some reflect more than others. The perfected ones, prophets, imams, and the truly faithful, are those who reached the fullness of their potential. They do not just reflect light, they radiate it and share it in the form of knowledge. And the machines of today that multiply forms are symbols of this higher multiplication of soul and meaning. The turning point in history, spiritual wisdom is the only salvation. A century ago, a new spark was lit, not just of science, but of spiritual preparation. The technical revolution was not for entertainment, but for awareness. It signaled the beginning of the final unveiling, the tawil of reality. As Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah, may we be sacrificed for him, advised us, scientific and spiritual progress must rise together. But without inner light, science becomes blind power as we see it today. The age of signs has come. Now the question is, will we reflect upon them or remain in darkness? The light you were meant to recognize, the seed that refused to break. We were not created just to consume light, but to recognize it. Like a seed that stays buried in the earth, we were not meant to remain unchanged. Unless it breaks open, it will never become the tree it was destined to be. The cocoon of ritual without awakening, never learns to fly. The soul, unaware, has surrendered not to the world of light, but to the illusion of darkness. The caterpillar must embrace stillness before it can be transformed. But what if it resists? What if it clings to the ground, never trusting the change? So too, the soul must trust the guide, to awaken the light within. Otherwise, it will never know it was born to fly. The fragrance of recognition. Only recognition makes the soul truly fragrant. We wear perfumes that fade, but the soul's fragrance is higher knowledge. Can the ray forget the sun? Can the bee forget its queen? Can the flower deny its scent? The soul cannot find peace until it recognizes its light, the light of the Holy Spirit, the Imam, before it's too late. Regret is the shadow of a soul that waited too long. Sadness comes as regret, the sorrow of an untouched potential. The body wears down, the days slip by. If the change within is delayed too long, it may be too late, and the soul may depart, still hungry, still blind. The satisfied soul. True satisfaction is recognition, not just mere existence. The friends of God are satisfied not with wealth, nor years, but with recognition. Though they walk in this world, their souls dwell in paradise. The Quran says, "O satisfied soul, return to your Lord." But how can the soul return unless it has known from whom it came? The light is already present. The light is here. Touch it with the spark in you. Every law of nature, every whisper in the conscience says, return satisfied. The greatest light is already present, but only those who reflect it within will ever see it without. To have a guide is a blessing, but to obey him is the path, and only through him can the journey lead to reunion. Reflect the light within before the body forgets what it was sent to remember. What were you sent to remember? You weren't created just to reflect light. You were created to recognize it. Begin now before it's too late. Subscribe and click the bell icon. Your next step awaits in the age of unveiling.